Hi everyone, David Castle here with LearnMagicTricks.org. Today I'm going to teach you a really cool magic trick that you can do with regular dental floss. First, the performance. You just take and open up your dental floss just like so, and we're going to need a few pieces. So let's take out one, let's take out two, and three pieces, and let's take out a fourth piece. We'll put the dental floss away, and we're just going to take and roll these three pieces into a little ball. Okay, so just make it really small here. It takes a little bit of time. Just make a small little ball out of those pieces. You can see there's a little ball, and we're going to push the ball onto this piece. Okay? Just like that, and you can see that it's on there good. Now what's really neat is I've got nothing over here, nothing over here. We have one piece, and then those three pieces that I squeezed together I just attached to that one piece. Now we're going to do some magic. I'll just wave my hand over it just like so and start to pull. It should magically start to melt back together in one solid piece of dental floss, just like so. Now I'm going to teach you how I did this. Okay? What I was hiding under my finger were those pieces that I started with at the beginning. Okay? Let me show you how to set this up. You're going to need to go to the store and buy some Johnson & Johnson Reach waxed floss. It's important that you get floss that's waxed because it needs to stick together. Now when you start this effect, you open up the dental floss, okay, and everything's normal right now. Now to set this up, your first piece is gimmicked. So you're going to pull out the dental floss about 8 to 9 inches, and you're going to start balling this up. Okay? It takes a little bit of time, I know, but you just keep going back and forth, and that's the only problem with this trick is it does take a little bit of reset, but what you could do is have 2 or 3 of these dental flosses ready for each of your shows. Okay, in advance. So you keep taking the dental floss and slowly balling it up until you get almost to the end. Okay? Just bear with me here. I want you to see how I do this. And remember, you got to use the wax dental floss to make it stick. So eventually you get towards the end here. Okay, so it's not that bad. And we'll stop right about there. And you also want to bring this in a little bit. So we're going to use a little bit more on this end. Okay? Once you get to this point, squeeze it nice and tight like that, and you're all ready to start. Okay? You just put this under here like this, and remember what we did. We took out a lot at the beginning, and we created a little ball of all that dental floss right here. Okay? You close it, and you're all ready to start. Now, when you begin this effect, you're going to pull the first piece out and you're going to cover that little package of dental floss with your fingers so the audience doesn't see it. Believe me, they won't catch on to this. It's very casual. You grab dental floss normally to pull it out. You just cover that part. So backstage, this is how it looks when you begin the effect. You take your left hand, okay, and you hold that little gimmicked piece, that bundle of floss, just like that. You hold onto it, and you take and you pull this piece out and you rip it. You say, okay, we need a bunch of pieces of dental floss. And you say, here's one. You go back in and you take out number 2. You go in again and you tell them we're going to take 3 and we're going to take 1 more. Okay? I like to do 4. You also want to make sure that when you add these 4 pieces up, it's approximately how long the other one will be when you pull it out. Okay? So of course, when you get to this point, you take the 3, not the one that's gimmicked, with the normal 3, and you just make a ball. Okay, it's really easy. You just make a ball. They could make the ball for you, your spectator, and just like this, and you want to make it kind of to match this one. Okay, so something like that. And you tell them you're going to attach these 3 pieces onto here, and you do it quickly so they don't see the other one. And now you can show them this whole piece because it's hiding your gimmicked one. Okay? So from the audience's point of view, all they're seeing is their one piece pushed onto that one piece, covering your gimmicked piece. So they don't even know it's there. So from the audience's point of view, you have 3 pieces balled up, pushed on one. So it would be a miracle if you could pull this apart and make one. And what you do is you take and cover this with your fingers. You take your hand, you can just wave it over here, say some magic words, and when you start pulling this, of course it's going to start unraveling naturally, and you're going to get one long restored piece. Now eventually you're going to start pulling this and you're going to feel that it opened up all the way. When you get to that point, remember you're going to have their piece of 3 in a ball right there. What I recommend you do is just casually slide that to the end and show them that it's solid. And what I recommend is at this point, you give them this piece. The second they take this piece, you take this gimmick and just go into your pocket and get rid of it. That way you're left with one solid piece of dental floss. They can examine this, they can examine the floss, they can examine everything, and they're just totally blown away. This is a great magic trick. I learned this at one of my magic meetings, and it's just so amazing because it's basically an impromptu trick. I mean, once you walk into a restaurant, wherever you're performing, just out in the real world, and you've got that setup done, you're ready to go and really amaze some people with a product that people deal with all the time. So this is the I guess you could say the torn and restored dental floss effect. It's a classic of magic, and it's really been kept underground. I don't think many people know about this, so I'm glad you do now. Have a lot of fun with it and enjoy. Once again, this is David Castle with LearnMagicTricks.org.